drops it off. A flying tackle by and a rock kick and goes Buddy Rogers. Oh, he caught him up there. That can was pretty hard, and look at Buddy going to work now. Oh!
Hey everybody, it's Durgertime. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Total Extreme Wrestling 2016, Billy Corgan's NWA. And we are here at New Horizons, which kinda is not quite a season finale, but definitely is going to be a new leaf for this show. This will be Cody's last show here. And obviously, very likely, last time he'll be champion here. Because he will not sign back up with us. And in a lot of ways is going to be kind of a turning point for us. I think that there's going to be a lot of things changing after this. A lot of ways we book might be different, and we'll talk about that probably after we actually book the show. I think we're going to change some of the structure for the NWA and try to adjust it, try to get further up, because we've been kind of stuck here for a while. We've been kind of not moving, very little progress, and maybe we have to readjust how we're looking at doing things. Well, to take a look, we had talked previously about maybe doing a little bit more stable work and things like that, and we'll talk about that afterwards, and we'll see what's going to happen. But we are here. Nothing eventful leading up to this. We have New Horizons tonight. Everyone is here except for, and I think we had discussed this earlier, kind of unfortunate, but Chris Daniels is apparently working Dragon Gate and is pretty much unable to be gotten. So the Icarus Daniels match will end up having to happen on a Starrcade, unfortunately, but that's fine. It can be done. It's not the end of the world. So let's go ahead and let's get to the next show. And we get to New Horizons, which is aptly named. All right, so we are going to add a CW. That's fine. We are going to be in probably the same area, the fair, I'm assuming. Expecting 1,800 fans. Fisher Theater, actually, will be where we're going. So what is the Fisher Theater? Holds 2,000 people, so it will hold and contain what we have here. Not a hotbed or anything like that. It's in Iowa. Okay, that seems fine. And we do have a locker room incident. We'll take a look at what happened. Incident involving Tim Storm. Tim Storm gave a locker room a lift as he unveiled a series of spot-on impressions of some of his colleagues. Okay, we gained a point from that. That's, hey, why not? Not bad. Daniels, again, is working elsewhere. Charlotte Flair is still at the WWE, and Tessa Blanchard is out injured. And it seems like we're fine here for the most part. Dustin's unhappy right now, and that's unfortunate, but we could probably, I'm not really sure why. It might just be having been left off the show. He's irritated. Yeah, he's upset that he was left off for a while, but, well, whatever. He was the one that wanted to retire, too. So, you know, that's what that is. We can put him on the show, though. We'll make him happy. Give him a little bit of a story, maybe build after this, and as we look at what we're going to be doing. All right, let's go ahead and book New Horizons. Big main event, obviously, Nick Aldis versus Cody Rhodes. No spoiler there. It sure looks like Aldis will be going over. But we also have some other storylines that are building up. Sasha Banks versus Tenille Dashwood. We have Pillman and Switchblade Jay White in a no DQ match. I'm sure we can't actually do like a hardcore match because the CW won't allow us, but we can probably get away with a no DQ match and add some shenanigans in there. And of course, a tag team championship match. So should be pretty interesting. And we have a lot of room for some other little bits and pieces. So probably might not be building news stories here, but we might be developing news stories after this show. It's definitely going to be sort of that end of one chapter to beginning of the next. So sort of the chapter 3 will kind of begin here. Let's go ahead and book it. And see where we're left with the NWA. Okay, so we start off with kind of just a random battle royale. We have 1,900 people here in Fisher Theater, which is nice. And this is just kind of using some people that weren't really using on the show, so they're not mad. Though we do use some of these people later on, but not fully. So it's a battle royale, and in a decent match, Shawn Spears wins the battle royale in 15 minutes. Final 4 was MJF, Hangman Page, Josephus, and MJF had ended up being the final elimination, and Hangman Page had the most eliminations over the course of the match. D+ is not bad. Gives everyone something to do. Spears debuts in a big way, which is nice. And he gets his old school heel gimmick with an above average rating. Actually, not bad overall. Randy and Kevin Condren are off their games a little bit. And it gets the show off to a strong start with a hot crowd, which is nice. That's kind of the point. And it gives everybody something to do. Costs a little bit of money, but I want everyone to be happy, and they get really upset if they're left off a pay-per-view. So, we have several back-to-back hype videos to start the show. One is we have a hype video saying that there will be an exhibition match between the natural Dustin Rhodes versus the unnatural Will Ospreay. Does pretty well. B-. No, we already booked it. It's fine. Afterwards, we have another hype video indicating that there will be a championship match between the champion Cody Rhodes and the challenger Nick Aldis. And we have a hype video saying that we are going to have a match between Sasha Banks and Tenille for the championship for the women's division. Does a little bit less than... does a lot less than those other two. In fact, we start off the show with Tenille versus Sasha Banks. Well, I mean, obviously we started off the show with the Battle Royale, but start off the show for real with Tenille versus Sasha Banks. And very clearly what was going to happen happens. Sasha Banks defeats Tenille in 11 minutes with submission and wins the NWA World's title. Tenille stays off her game. They were about evenly matched. This was a work the crowd match. I didn't think the Battle Royale was actually going to get them hot like that. So that's, something. We are expanding our story and starting it, taking it to the bank, which actually started with the hype video before, oddly enough, but it gains heat, and now we have Sasha Banks, heel Sasha Banks, as the champion in the NWA. Gets a 46, a D, is not horrible for where they are, not bad, and overall, I think does pretty okay. Afterwards, we have a celebratory win celebration. Wow, I could talk tonight. Sasha celebrates in the ring, holds the belt up, and then viciously attacks Tenille, just to remind everybody that, yes, she is a heel. Gets the crowd hotter. Again, gains heat for the taking it to the bank story. Not bad. Gets a C. Pretty good. Ooh, whoa, this is interesting. So we have Pillman and Jay White in a weapons no DQ match. Pillman defeats Jay White in a weapons match in 12 minutes with a pinfall after a tornado DDT. Pillman took a crazy bump. They did not click, and they had an awkward bout. It's good to know. Got the crowd buzzing. There wasn't simply enough time. That's interesting. I thought I gave him enough, but I guess not. So it was a little too short. Their story lost heat, which is fine because it's actually kind of ending. I should have had an end storyline note with this. But Pillman defeats Jay White. Wow, this match is really poor. That's unfortunate. But Pillman basically cements himself as moving up the card and leaving Jay White behind, and kind of ends their feud in a bloody mess. Yeah, sorry guys. And we have a promo. Tim Storm comes out, and he starts talking to the audience, holding his Founders Championship. And he's like, you've all been talking, and I've been thinking about this gold here, and what it means, how I can use it to challenge any title I want at any time, and well, I said I was going to, but I've changed my mind. I've decided I'm not going to use it tonight. I am the Founders Champion, and I choose when and where to strike. Oddly enough, Billy Corgan comes out. And it says, I may not be in charge of this company anymore, but I still lead booking decisions here. You and Pinky are one and the same. Some weaselly scum that try to take the easy way out to their path to glory. Not today. Pinky's not here right now. I don't even know where he is, but I am. I've read the clauses, and it says the Founders Championship has to be defended if not used in a timely manner. Well, I'm deciding it's not in a timely manner, and that's exactly what's going to happen tonight. You want to be a champion? Let's see if you can earn it. Storm is furious, and the crowd cheers to see Storm being upset, and thus Storm now has to defend the Founders Championship, the right to challenge anybody else, because he has not used it in a timely manner. And Joey Janela takes the call to come out and challenge Storm for the Founders Championship. But Tim Storm defeats Joey Janela in 9 minutes. He had interference. Someone came to his aid. In fact, it was Maxwell Jacob Freeman, possibly in an alliance with Storm, but probably more likely to get back at his old tag team partner, Joey Janela. Tim Storm makes defense number 1 of his championship title, which normally doesn't get defended, but we've kind of decided it makes it like the G1 title. You have kind of to defend it if you get challenged for it to keep the right for it. This was a cool down match. This brought it back down a little bit, cooled people down. They both did really well, actually, for what it was. D- is not bad for either of them with where they're at in terms of in-ring performance, so that's pretty good. This is actually pretty good. Our 3-way tag team ladder match does pretty good here. Best Friends versus the Von Erichs versus War Machine. Probably no surprises here in a decent match. War Machine defeat the Best Friends and the Von Erichs in a ladder match in 13 minutes, with Hanson retrieving the item, and thus winning for the first time for them the NWA World Tag Team Championships. Chuck Taylor's gimmick is getting a little stale. Something we'll have to look at. Maybe we have to revitalize him a little bit. Got the crowd buzzing. Everyone did pretty well. Even the Von Erichs kind of held their own here in not a bad way. Fresh Tag Team Division gained heat with their storyline in the segment. And obviously the War Machine is now the champions. So it's pretty good. Marshall Von Erichs also improving his performance skills, which is nice. C- is probably about where I expected this match. The Von Erichs were going to bring it down a little bit. And obviously Rowe also is going to bring it down just because he's just a little bit weaker in terms of ability. But overall, C- not bad. And I believe, if I remember correctly, how this works too is if these guys are in a match with higher rated people, they learn faster. They're more likely to get popular. So having the triple threat between these two that are already pretty established in terms of popularity is going to help the Von Erichs, and thus in the long term, maybe springboard them higher up the card for us, which is ultimately our goal in terms of developing them. Now we have the exhibition match between the Natural Dustin Rhodes and Will Ospreay. It's an exceptional match. Will Ospreay defeats Dustin Rhodes in 8 minutes. A little short one. I wanted to keep it nice and short. Got the crowd hotter. Will Ospreay had an 82. Dustin had a 60. Gave us a B-. Will Ospreay literally can just be put with anybody in the ring and get at least a B-. Not saying that Dustin Rhodes is bad or anything like that, but it sure seems like he's Mr. B+ for certain. He seems to always be able to eke out at least a 70 from anybody. It just cements Will Ospreay as a contender, with Dustin Rhodes kind of declining. Makes it kind of interesting, and gives both of them something to do on the pay-per-view, just to keep everyone fresh in their minds, to know that no matter what happens in the next match, both of these two are definitely contenders for the championship in the future. And finally, in the main event, Cody Rhodes versus Nick Aldis. Fantastic heat, great wrestling. Aldis defeats Cody Rhodes in 25 minutes by pinfall and wins back the World Heavyweight title. Gets a C+. Crowd is buzzing. Cody's not great, super happy about it. Cody had an 83. Aldis has a 56. Not much to say about it. We got to get the belt off of Cody at some point. And, it seems poetic to give it back to Aldis, where it started, for at least a little bit. I thought it would be like a nice little poetic cap of giving him another short run as the person that started with us to kind of bring it back here. It was kind of a nice little send-off, I thought. Afterwards, Dustin comes out to console a very upset Cody. Cody looks up at the fans, thanks the crowd, and thanks them, and then leaves Nick Aldis alone in the ring. Gets a B-, and we end the show with a real shit show. Aldis going back to the ramp. We have a false finish. It looks like the Dustin and Cody finish was going to end the show, but instead, as Nick Aldis leaves, a gang of people led by the formerly absent Paul Pinky George show up and absolutely brutalize him, beat him down, take his belt, hold it over him. And it seems to be the formation of a new group between MJF, Tim Storm, Sami Callihan, and Jay White, clearly led by Pinky George in the background. So we'll hear more about who these guys are, why they're aligned, though it seems pretty obvious why when you look at who the personalities are. And ultimately they leave Nick Aldis on the ground, abused and abused. Jay White's getting better as a gimmick. MJF was very underwhelming. It's interesting. Jay White underperformed. And Nick Aldis did a fantastic job at selling, which is always good. Gained heat for Tim Storm, which is nice. Ends the show at a 60. It's a little bit weaker than the send-off, but I think it's important for the story to end it here. That's fine. So we gained popularity in 11 regions. Show ended at a C. Not bad. In terms of who did good and who did bad, I think we had some underperforming issues that maybe we just want to give them some encouragement. Who was it? I don't remember who underperformed now. I think it was Janela had some issues too. Jay White had some issues. Randy Rain, which it's fine. And let's give Ross a great. Just give him a boost here. Everyone seems happy. Okay, so we are back, and Ring of Honor made extension to Adam Page. MJF got to deal with A1, that's fine. Ospreay and Cody need time to heal, that's fine. Cody's probably mad right now. No, he's still happy. He was kind of furious at his booking, but he's still okay. That's good. Jimmy Jacobs has morale issues. What's wrong, Jimmy? Why are you upset? You're low and mid card. Yeah, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Though I should probably change you out of division. Never really used these divisions the way I should. I mean, theoretically, they make it nice to organize, but I don't know. I don't really feel like it. It doesn't do what I want it to do. Hopefully in 2020 it does a little bit more. So, we got some new champions. We got some new stuff. We got a new stable. And we have a new Starcade. Now, so here's the thing. We've been talking about making it a new Leaf, right? Obviously, we're still losing money. We've groomed a roster down a little bit. We've changed it up a little bit. And I think at this point, it's about new direction. So here's what I pose to you all before the next episode. Do we continue with Star Arcade, Double Arcade, or do we switch out to NWA Power? Do we change the direction of the show entirely? Do we make it a little bit more sports heavy and change the direction and tone? Or do we keep with the old sports entertainment model and continue with the Starcade show? Be interested in hearing from you guys what you think we should do from here. Obviously, Nick Aldis brings us back to where we began, but it's very clear that things aren't the same. You have a stable of heels leading the company. Billy Corgan still without power, and we'll be addressing how he may be able to get back in power soon. We have the cult in disarray and fallen apart. And we have a bunch of rising stars making their way that are very clearly going to be main event contenders very soon. I would be shocked if Pillman's not there yet. Nope, not there yet. So, and part of me kind of feels like maybe we end Starcade entirely, start NWA Power, and change direction a little bit. Let me know. I want to hear, and I will be led by your decisions where you feel we want to move to, because we're not moving at all. Maybe it's just a purge. Maybe we just get rid of everybody, keep a few, and change the roster. Make this like a big new series reboot almost, and get a whole new cast of characters in for the NWA. Make this sort of an end of an era and a beginning of a new one. And see if we can build up differently, because we're certainly not moving in any direction. We're kind of just treading water, and I want to change that for the foreseeable future during season 2 of the NWA here. So let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what your thoughts are of how we proceed. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you.